Welcome back, traders. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm just going to run you through my particular chart setup. So I have I've got 4 screens in front of me. One's dedicated to OBS and Discord, but I use the other 3. And this is, I'll start with the top. All right, I'll start with my high time frame side of things, because this is where I start every single day. Right, I don't go anywhere near lower time frames until I can confirm something here on the higher time frame. So right here I have NASDAQ and I have the S&P. This is on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour time frame, and what I do is I start on the daily every single day, and I go through I go from the daily, and I go down from the daily to the 4 hour, and then I end up on the 1 hour, and that gives me a really good perspective of, number one, the daily bias, number two, what kind of trades I'm looking for. If my bias is bearish, I'm only looking for sell trades that day, and so forth. So nothing too fancy on here. I do have the ICT kill zones and pivot points by TFO. I have the boxes turned off, so let's just have a quick look at my settings. I've got session drawing limit at 20. That means it's going to draw the sessions 20 days back. I've got a time frame limit of 1 hour. I find that anything over 1 hour, it doesn't display very nicely. Obviously, time frame's American. Label size normal, all the rest of it. Drawing cutoff is 6 p.m. and 6:01, and then I've got the kill zones down here. So I have the kill zone boxes unticked, right? So I only have the lines on my chart. So I've got the Asia, the London, the New York, and occasionally I'll put on the New York PM, but I don't generally use that. I've got the box transparency when I do have it on to about 95. Down here I've got show pivots, alert broken pivots, show pivot labels, stop once mitigated, which means once price goes through a high or a low, you can probably best see that right here, right? You can see the Asian line here. We break that Asian line and it stops moving it forward. I have that on, and I also have to the right side. So that means that the text is displaying to the right. Other than that, I only have a couple of other things that I use, and that is, I've got the opening prices, I have the 8:30, and I've got the midnight. I don't generally use the 8:30 anymore. Doesn't really suit my plan. So that is the settings that I use. Now I have that across all my charts. As I said, I don't have it on all the time. I just turn it on and off as I need it. I just don't like all of the, there's a lot on my charts, right? I just prefer to use price action. For coming down to a level, I generally know where that level is, so I just use it as it is. It's an indicator, right? Currently falling on NASDAQ. So that is the top screen. That is my high time frame screen. And I use, as I said, I go from the daily down to the 1 hour first thing every single morning. Up here I've also got a 5 and 15 minute chart. So what I use here is, this is the 15 minute. I've got NASDAQ on one side, ES on the other. And I'll just flip between the 5 minute and the 15 minute. Generally I stay on the 15 minute, and I use that for my fair value gaps. If there's a fair value gap that's going to stick, it's going to be on the 15 minute. Right, moving on to the next screen. This is the one that confuses everyone. This here is my order flow screen, right? So I have, where are we? Let me just get this aligned, see where my line is. I'll just reload it. So over here I have the cluster chart, just while we're waiting for that to reload. It puts out single prints. It also shows me any large orders sitting in the markets. We can see, where are we? Here we go. We can see up here at 25,150, we have a number of orders sitting up there. Closer to price right now, we have this area here, which is replicated here on the DOM. So really, really good. It also shows me the bid and the ask. So it shows me how many people are buying, how many people are selling, and who's winning that battle. Are there imbalances in here? All of the above. This is where you're going to end up. Order flow is the final boss. You can't trade off of candles. You need to see what's going on, right? Like I can see in live time the amount of orders that are coming in here, and that allows me to see if it's a fake run or if it's an actual substantiated run based on the number of buyers and sellers, also the imbalances that are being created, and also the volume that's coming into the market. I know it's probably a lot for you to understand if you're just starting out, and I suggest if you are just starting out, become profitable before you do this. This is an entirely different language, and I say to the guys in the Discord, you wouldn't learn two languages at once. So that's exactly what this is, just another language. And is it beneficial? Hell yeah, it is. But is it going to help a novice or an intermediate trader? No, it's definitely not. You've got to be advanced. You've got to be, you had to have been profitable for some time before you want to switch to this. It's also got daily VWAP. It's got the value area low, value area high. It's got the weekly pointer control, the weekly VWAP. Over here we have the previous day VWAP and the previous day value low, and also the previous day point of control and open. So as I said, there's a lot going on that screen. Down here we have the profile. So this shows me where my point of control is on the heat map and where my point of control is on the volume. So volume's to the right here, heat map is to the left, and this is the previous 30 minutes. So point of control here, everything's matching up fine there. We're in a balanced range there. Previous to that, we've got a single print coming through here. Again, we have a double distribution, which basically means the heat map comes out there, comes back in, and then goes back out. It's like an M, right? So that is the heat map, and obviously up here I've got the DOM, and this also shows me point of control, value area low, value area high. It also shows all the orders sitting in the market, so I can see visually where we're thin and where we're thick. Like right now, because we're out of session hours, we're in London, you can see it's pretty thin. But once we kick into gear and New York opens, and this thing starts going crazy. It just stalled on me for some reason. But yeah, that is that screen. I don't want to spend too much time on that. That's a different beast altogether. And then to my left, this is my entry screen. And as I said, I'm not coming near this until I've confirmed something on a higher time frame. I'm really not interested in going near this until that has happened. So I have here is a 1, 2, 3, and 4 minute chart. And I just use them all because, not all the time something's going to pop up on the 1 minute. Not all the time it's going to pop on the 2, 3, or the 4. The 3 minute is my chosen preference. Gives you the clearest signals out of the lot. 1 minute gives you so many fake outs. If you're trading the 1 minute, I suggest you don't. If you're not profitable, that could be why. 1 minute has got a lot of data. There's a lot going on with it, and it doesn't, I don't know, each to their own, but my experience tells me that 1 minute shows too many false signals. If you get a fair value gap here and you're inversing it and you don't have a fair value gap on any of these guys, then the likelihood that this is going to hold is very low. Whereas if you have one on a 2 minute or a 3 minute, the likelihood that it's going to hold is substantially higher, and even more so with the 4 and the 5. So each to their own. I have it on there because sometimes the signal will pop up on the 1 minute, but generally I'm staying on the 3 minute. If I've got fair value gaps across all 4, then my chosen time frame is the 3 minute for sure. And again, I have the indicator on these because at the entry point I need to know where the lines are, right? Like I need to know if we're touching into previous day low, Are we touching into the value area low? Where's the point of control? Like, I need to see that stuff on the entry time frame. I also do have the weekly profile here, and that is as simple as go to the daily. Let's get it on screen. There we go. Go to the daily. Go back to, I've been doing it from the last week, so we're out on Friday now. So where I would have put this would have been last Monday, right? This candle here. So it's called an anchored volume profile. If I click it, it's located just over to the left here. If I click it, put it onto the previous Monday, that's going to give me that entire range's volume profile here. And then I can drop back down to my hour. It's going to stay there. Oh, what happened? It disappeared. There we go. Right, let's go to the hour now. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, so I'm just going to adjust this. This is a setting that you want to do as well. See this here? Save chart left edge position when changing interval. We want that to be selected, right? What it's going to usually do is keep price exactly where you're looking at it. Doesn't matter when you change, but it's not working at the moment for some reason. Anyway, that's what it does. It's a good thing to have on when it does work. So the volume profile, that gives me a lot of indication. I never ever enter trades at the point of control. That is where the high value node is. That's where price is balanced, right? There's an equal amount of buyers and sellers, and that's where the most transactions have played out over the period of time that I anchored that volume profile to. So if you look up the top here, we come out of that high value node and we come in and we get to this point here. That's the value area high, and this is the value area low. This is where I want to enter, and this is where I want to enter. Never in the middle. The middle is no bueno. So that is my chart setup. There's nothing else that I have on my chart. As I said, I use this indicator, and that's about it. It doesn't show me where I get in and where I get out. It just shows me my options on the table for potential liquidity reversals. And yeah, I literally sit there in New York Open, and I either have my XO charts on or I have my entry charts on, and I'll just sit there and wait. But all the while I'm watching this screen here, and I'm watching for one of my liquidity targets to be taken for the reversal, or I'm looking for momentum to carry me through levels. So yeah, everything's done on this time frame, 15-minute and the 1 hour. That's all I use. So yeah, I've been trading like this for 15 years. I've actually uploaded a couple of videos in the VIP on guys that have been in the markets a lot longer than I have. And one of them used one strategy for 10 years. It's really interesting because you see so many people trading so many different things, but that is a way to become unprofitable because your probability curve rounds over at a certain point. Once you take on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strategies, it doesn't make you more profitable, it makes you unprofitable. Every single strategy has a base level of 100 examples for you to see proof that the data works, right? That's a base level. So when you put five strategies in, now you've got to reach 500. It's 100 for every single strategy. So you're never ever going to see any strategy out long enough for you to see the benefit. That's why you choose one strategy and stick with it. If it rolls out during your session, then great. If it doesn't, who cares? Move on the next day. You didn't lose money and you didn't overtrade. So, just remember that. Most traders only do 1 or 2 strategies. It's very, very uncommon to see people profitable with 3, 4, 5 strategies. That's ridiculous numbers. Anyway, that is the chart setup. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, hit me up. If not, I will see you in the New York session. Ciao.